welcome to another Money Morning Routine. Okay, so first thing today, I am just getting updated with my spending. Nothing came out of my checking account. So I am just going to be, which is crazy, over the weekend, nothing came out of my checking account. But I did spend some cash. So once I get this done, okay, fully updated, let's go over here to my cash spending. Okay, so I have, you can see a receipt in here for Fred Meyer. Let's count how much cash I have left. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So $24 left in my food envelope. So let me write that down. Okay, you can see I spent $75.16 at Fred Meyer. So I'm just going to round up to 76. So this happened on 3/29. So Fred Meyer. So $76. Okay, so let's write that down on my cash expense tracker here. So 3/29, Fred Meyer, food, $76. Okay, so now all of that has been updated. Let's get updated with my spending. And then we're going to be talking about something really important that's going to be happening tomorrow. Okay, so now cash has been fully updated. I'm going to scan my receipt into Fetch Rewards. All right, so what's happening tomorrow is I'm closing out my budget. So today is going to be a no spend day for me. Now, usually about 2 days before I start a new tracking period, which for me is in April, I like to do no spend days. And I do that to essentially clear out my checking account of any pending transactions. So I don't track anything on my expense trackers unless the transaction has cleared in my account. I do not track pending transactions. And the reason I don't do that is because the amount of a pending transaction in your checking account can change when it clears. It's happened to me many times before. So I wait. So let's talk about closing out our budget very quickly. When it comes to closing out your budget, I get a lot of questions about tracking period. So, or what is your tracking period? What should be your tracking period? It depends. It depends on when you get paid. It depends on what feels best for you, what makes more sense to you, what's easiest for you. So for me, I get paid on the first of every month, okay? And I only get paid once a month. So it's easy for me to track my spending from the first until the last day of the month because I'm getting paid on the first of every month. Now, if you get paid, say, on the 5th and the 20th, you might decide your tracking period is your first paycheck of the month, which is the 5th, to your first paycheck of the next month, which is the 5th. Okay? Or you might decide, hey, even though I get paid on the 5th and the 20th, I might still just track my period from the first of the month to the last day of the month. It's completely up to you. You can do it either way. So tracking period for me, I'm tracking my spending from the first to the last day of the month for each one of my budgeting periods. Okay. Now, when you are closing out your budget, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow, a couple of really important things need to happen. Okay. One, we have our tracking period. That's done. The next thing, if you do use cash envelopes like me for your budget, now because I'm closing out tomorrow, today's a no spend day, right? I'm not spending anything. I can start making decisions for any cash that I have left in my cash envelopes. Now, if we look at this, so fun, I still have $100 in my envelope for fun. I still have 50 in pets. I have 0 in miscellaneous, 0 in household, and 24 in food. Now, remember, I mentioned that what I would like to do with any leftover cash that I had this month is to roll it over into my April tracking period and budget so I can use it for our small trip over to Burlington for the Tulip Festival. So I have a little bit more of cash spending money. So you have to decide if you have any cash left over in your cash envelopes, what you want to do with it. Start making that decision. Start thinking about it. Look what you have going on the following month. Are you going to need it? Do you want to save it? Do you want to use it for an extra debt payment? Okay. Depends on your financial circumstances right now. So that's the next thing. The other thing you need to start looking at is, are you prepped to close out your budget? Okay. So prepping, step number 1, getting your spending trackers fully updated and organized and done correctly. Okay. The reason, like I said, remember the reason I'm doing some no spend days before closing out my budget is giving my checking account a little bit of time to clear out any pending transactions, which there is none. I've got updated with my cash spending. I am fully ready to use this information to close out my budget now. Another part of prepping is getting your monthly budget category breakdown fully prepped. Now, I want to thank the person for my fun budget. They go, wait, your fun budget doesn't add up to what you have going on in your budget. So I was able to fix that. So you want to write down your spending categories, your monthly budget for those categories. So all you have to do is write in your spending. Now, I went over the monthly budget categories just recently in an earlier money morning routine video. Make sure you check that out. That's really important. Okay, also, see what happens? I just forget to do it. Sunday we ate out. We ate out to Conte, which is a Mexican restaurant. Saturday, what did we eat Saturday? Oh, that's why I went to Fred Meyer. We had steaks and salad with some friends and had a movie night at the house. So really, I just need a Chipotle and Tecate are the ones I need to highlight in yellow. Not bad for March, for my eating out. Okay, so once you have March prepped, now when you're closing out a budget in one period, tracking period, you're starting a new tracking period. Let's look at April. You should have your April budget calendar done. You should have your April budget done and ready. Always have a plan ready for your money before you receive your paycheck. I'm ready to go, with the exception that if I do roll over money, which I'm probably going to, this is going to change. My budget's going to change a little bit, right? Because if I roll over the full $100 for fun that I still have, that needs to go up here in my inflow for the month. So it would say, March rollover cash, write that down, and then I can just add it to my fun spending down here. Or I can add it to my vacation spending here, which is, it says Mount Vernon vacay. So that might change based on that. I have my cash envelope breakdown ready to go. Now remember, I may have a $2,000 budget, spending budget for this trip. That's all going to be spent on my Capital One Venture Travel Rewards credit card. And then when I get home, I use this money to pay off my credit card, because that allows me to get any rewards points, allows me to use any rewards points on travel purchases if it allows me. So that's how I spend on my vacations. So that's what you should have going and prepped and ready to close out your March tracking period and budget and start April. And that is my Money Morning